Hey there, brilliant people. So today I've got something a little bit different for you. So as well as being a fractologist and, developing the neurology and logic of your intuition, I'm a chiropractor. Not surprisingly, those two things are linked, and one of the reasons why they're linked is because the one area where the energy work and physical work really hold hands is actually in the spine itself. So in your spine, you have something called the CSF, which stands for the cerebrospinal fluid. So, cerebrum, your brain, and the spinal, so you have this fluid that moves around your brain and up and down your spinal cord. And that fluid is really important for the health of your brain. It's important to help bring extra nutrition to your brain because your brain's so active, your brain needs that. And also to help carry away waste from your brain. And the interesting thing is actually that they find that there's very poor correlation between X-ray findings and back symptomatology. So there's actually a very poor correlation between whatever sort of crusty stuff you have going on in your spine and where you're actually in pain. But interestingly, there's very good correlation between where your fluid has got blocked or has become stagnant, because that is always going to produce pain. It's a major cause of headaches, for example. Anyway, and the other interesting thing is, from the point of view of particularly of living intuitively, is that the CSF and something called the Kundalini. So if you don't know what your Kundalini energy is, it's the Kundalini energy is, again, the energy that flows up and down your spinal cord. So it's kind of like one of the major channels of your life force energy. And the interesting thing is that when we get your CSF flowing, your Kundalini energy will just start flowing. Or similarly, if you get your Kundalini energy to start flowing, your CSF will start flowing. So, as I said, the Kundalini and, the CSF, that's where the physical and energy work really meets in a very strong way, a strong and direct way. So as I said, today I've got something a little bit different for you because the health of your spine and keeping that CSF flowing is really important for the health of your Kundalini energy, which, as I said, is one of the, your major energies in the body. So it's a major support to your intuition. So I just wanted to take you through today a bit of a spinal exercise. Sometimes I describe it as spinal yoga, but it really helps keep the CSF flowing through your spine. This is something I've taught to people who've, some people who've even had severe scoliosis, or they've been through significant spinal surgery. And even with those utations, this has actually really helped the health of their spine. It's really helped ease a lot of their pain and their symptoms, because it's gotten, it really helps their CSF and therefore their Kundalini start to flow. All right, so that's why today's a bit different, because I'm going to show you how to do this. So in order to do this, you need to know that what we're working to do is that there are certain muscles up and down your spine, called the multifidus, don't need to remember that, but they go from one vertebra to the next. So, and they form almost like a daisy chain up your spine. So they're really little muscles. So these are not the big, strong muscles that run sort of either side of your spine like this. These are right against your vertebra. And as I said, they're really just trying to move one vertebra at a time like this. So these movements, the more slowly and gently you can do them, the better. Because I don't want this to take too long. you know, I'm sort of going to do them a little bit faster than I want you to do them. But as I said, the more slowly and you can do them, the better. And you're really trying to feel one vertebra move at a time. And you're also just going to do each spinal movement separately. So there are 3 movements in the spine. One is forward bending, one is side bending, obviously to both sides, and one is rotation. So twisting to either side. So you do each of these movements separately. So I guess 5 movements altogether. Front, you know, twisting to either side, bending to either side. So you do each movement separately, and you start and finish with your head. So forward bending, you're literally just trying to move one vertebra at a time. And you just keep bending forward. I'm probably going to move out of shot because I can't really see what that's doing. This would be easier if I had someone on the camera. But you just keep bending forward, one vertebra at a time, until you get down to your pelvis. And then you reverse out of it, one vertebra at a time. So as I said, you start and finish with your head. So that's forward bending. Then side bending is the same, start and finish with your head. Except you're doing it to the side until you feel the opposite side hip start to lift, and then you reverse out of it. And as I said, you probably want to do this. I'm probably going 4 times as fast as you want to go. So you bend, side bend to either side, and then you twist. Now you don't twist with your shoulders. You don't use your shoulders to twist it because you want to use those little muscles, remember. So you just start with your head and you just keep turning, and you let your shoulders just go with the motion. You want to come all the way back to the middle before you go to the other side. And again, you just keep turning until you feel it all the way down into your pelvis, and then you reverse out of it. So that's it. I don't need to repeat it because obviously if you need to, you can just, you know, you can watch this video as many times as you need in order to get it. But if you do that, you will find that that will help. You know, if you do have back pain, do it gently. Generally speaking, obviously, if you're not certain about anything, please go and see someone who can help you if you do have any worries about your spine. Generally speaking, a sense of like achy stretch, we can get that just when we're asking our body to do something it hasn't done before. As long as you're doing this gently and easily, you should be fine. But if you ever feel something that is either a hot or a sharp pain, that's not good. So if you do feel that, stop immediately. And if it persists, please go and see someone. And of course, if you have any questions, you know, put them in the comments below. We can have a chat about it. But otherwise, do that. It is something that, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be. So it is something I do about 3 rounds of that just every morning, you know, unless I have to bolt out of bed because I've slept in, because that can happen. But yeah, most mornings the alarm will go off. When I eventually stop hitting the snooze button, I will sit up just on the side of the bed, and I'll just do 3 rounds of that. And that just, you know, keeps things nice and limber, and it helps on the physical side of things. It helps my Kundalini energy to keep flowing in a healthy way, which helps my intuition. So I thought I would share that with you. as I said, if you've got any comments, if you're not sure if this is for you, please go and check with your health professional before you do it, if you're uncertain in any way, because obviously I don't know your circumstances. But, you know, if you do it very gently and easily, and as I said, if you stop, if anything becomes hot or sharp, you should be fine. Yeah, so do that. That will support your energy and support your intuition. So hopefully you can remember that you're brilliant.